Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to update our pound for pound list that we originally did right here. Go ahead and check that out. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the movements that happened because of last weekend's Tim Bradley Juan Manuel Marquez fight, and just talk about what changes happened and why those changes happened. And then you can use our previous video to link from there to see what we said about our other fighters. That way, this video stays short, because we all got lives. Some of y'all got ADD. So we want to keep this nice and short and sweet. So we're going to start off with number 10, which was Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, we mentioned that he had some great combination punches. He has some underrated footwork. He has a very decent body of work so far. It may not be world class yet, but he has nowhere to go but up. So that's why we had him at number 10.
All right. At number 9, we have Vladimir Klitschko. Now, he just had his fight with Alexander Povetkin, which he dominated, but it was a very ugly fight. I mean, he is tall, he is big, he has a great jab, and a powerful right hand. The only problem is he's so much bigger, more in shape, and actually skilled than a lot of other heavyweights. But the problem is he doesn't really utilize his full potential, and we don't know if he can get away with that at the lower classes. Right. If you have someone that's athletic, just as big at, say, and he doesn't have to burn himself down to a weight, so put him at middleweight or super middleweight versus Andre Ward, I'm pretty sure he's going to get beat pretty handily. But he has not lost since 2004, if I'm not mistaken, to Layman Brewster. So, I mean, he's beat everyone and took a couple of zeros, so he stays there at number 9.
Right. Number 8 is our first change. We have Juan Manuel Marquez. He actually fell a few spots from our last list. Like I said, check that out here. And the reason he fell is because he lost to a person who we'll have higher on our list, Tim Bradley. And in that fight, Marquez showed some of the things that we talked about in that other video. He started pretty slow. He didn't really get it going until later on in the fight, and I think that cost him a lot. There were some other things, probably the age, that also became a factor in that fight, which we will talk about in our breakdown video of the Tim Bradley Juan Manuel Marquez fight. Check that out right here. So we'll go really into depth about why they moved to the places they moved to and what skill sets that they use to offset and complement each other in that post-fight breakdown video. Let's move on to number 7.
Alright, at number 7 we have Nonito Donaire. He pretty much didn't have a lot of movement on our pound for pound list, but he is a very skilled fighter. He has a good body of work, hellacious knockouts. He demonstrates good boxing skill, as well as he's a very good boxer puncher. He just happened to lose to someone else who's higher up on this list pretty handily, but he, to us, can beat anyone else in his division, around his division, and given the change in size, he can carry all his skills and athleticism to that division. Right. So that's why he's at number 7 for us.
Right. And just a reminder, if you haven't clicked over to the other video yet, our criteria for pound is someone whose skill set you can take at any weight class and they would still be successful. And it's not even necessarily that particular person, it's just that we found people that best suit those skill sets that we like, that you can see in our other video, and they can translate that to the other weight classes.
But we do take their body work into consideration.
Right. Because you have to see that style against many different styles just to know that it works. Because a lot of people, unlike us, haven't watched a lot of styles or been in gyms to see different styles mesh and not mesh with each other. So we want to give you that little bit of insight. Let's move on to number 6. At number 6 we have the world middleweight champ Sergio Martinez. Now, Martinez is going to be off until probably like early 2014. His last fight, he had a little bit of trouble, and a guy that a lot of people thought he would walk over, but perhaps a mix of age and underestimating his opponent left a less than desirable performance. But like a champion and a very skilled competitor that he is, he pulled it out.
All right. At number 5, we still have Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, yes, he lost debatable, controversial decision to Tim Bradley, and he lost emphatically to Juan Manuel Marquez. But if you watch those fights, he, to us, was besting Bradley. It was a lot closer than other people thought for us, but he still was taking advantage of his skills and Tim Bradley's lack of skills in comparison to him. Now, Juan Manuel Marquez, he was probably in the best shape and best form that we had seen him in years, and had actually knocked down Juan Manuel Marquez,
which isn't new.
Yeah, but he walked right. Well, he got trapped into a right-handed time, so he got knocked out. But we think his skills, his athleticism, and just his demeanor will carry over to any division. Because even though he is great at these things and very flawed at these things, this compensate, and he can pretty much, to me, take just about anyone out.
Oh yeah, that left hand cannot be slept on. Yeah. Number 4, we have our biggest mover. I believe on our last video we had Tim Bradley at number 9. He moves up to number 4 because one of the things Rob said in either this video, in the previous pound for pound video, or our Tim Bradley, Juan Manuel Marquez pre-fight breakdown, that even though Bradley has some lacking in a few skills and in the skill department, he has that will and that grit and a just way to get it done. It doesn't matter if the person is a master boxer like Marquez or who is better than him physically like Manny Pacquiao. We have to remember, a lot of people thought that, you know, he wasn't in that fight, but he went 12 rounds with Manny Pacquiao with 2 busted feet. Not just a small, that is not a small injury. He had a torn ligament in one foot and a sprained ankle on another foot, and he still finished the fight, and he still convinced the 2 of the 3 people that matter most that he won. No matter what we feel, in the record books it says he won.
And not only that, but he's very adaptable.
Yeah.
To Manny Pacquiao, he decided to go toe-to-toe, found that didn't work, hurt both feet, but he boxed a smart fight. He was actually a lot more elusive than people give him credit for in that fight. And against Ruslan Provodnikov, when he chose to box and to outbox him and not to constantly be in the trenches, he took advantage of Provodnikov. Even though he was out, fought the fight with a concussion, he was still able to fight smart and allow his will to carry him through those rough spots. So that's why he takes spot number 4.
Yeah, just like he said, that is a great skill that 99% of boxers don't have. The will to go through pain and physical disability to still come through and win a fight.
That's right.
And that's why we have him at number 4. Number 3, we have Guillermo Rigondeaux, the Cuban amateur standout, had over 300 amateur fights. World titleist at like 6 or 7 fights. Just unified against one of our other pound for pound interests, Nonito Donaire, made him look very ordinary. And you can see our detailed breakdown on our last video. Number 2, we have
Andre Ward. The man just knows how to win. Doesn't matter who he's fought, how he's fought, when he's fought, it doesn't matter. He has won. If he has to bully you, outbox you, or if he has to knock you out, as you saw in the Chad Dawson fight, or that was a TKO, he made him quit.
Yeah.
But he gets the job done.
Right. And the reason he is ranked higher than Timothy Bradley, well, they have a similar, I would say, will set. The skill set is what sets Andre Ward apart from Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley, like in his last fight, he beat Juan Manuel Marquez by split decision. He beat Manny Pacquiao by split decision. He had a back and forth war with Ruslan Provodnikov. Andre Ward, on the other hand, has taken probably future Hall of Famers and made them look terrible with his skill set, which is why he's number 2. Let's move on to number 1. You already know who it is. Pretty Boy Floyd, aka Money Mayweather. I mean,
need we say more?
Exactly. You know why he's number 1. You see what he can do. So check out our other video to see why we have him at number 1. We pretty much go into good detail on why we rank him as number 1. So that's it, guys. That's our new pound for pound rankings. This one is probably going to stay up for a while because a lot of the guys on this list won't be fighting for a while. They just fought recently. They probably won't get back into the ring until early 2014. Manny Pacquiao has a fight coming up soon. Rigondeaux has a fight coming up soon, and Andre Ward and Nonito Donaire. That's it. The rest of the guys are done for this year, and I don't see anybody coming up in the future that will change the landscape of this video. So, like this video, we appreciate it. Share it with your friends, we really appreciate that. And subscribe, we love that.
And don't forget, leave a comment, question, because we love to talk and we love to talk about all combat sports. We're waiting to hear from you.
Yep. And if you don't subscribe, send a Rob to your house. Peace.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is come at a cost. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane, I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.